California, Dominik and Rey Mysterio!
This is Dominik Mysterio's comeback for another.
Mysterio senton on the top rope. And Rey Mysterio picking up the pace. Crossbody. Dominik developing aggression as
So I'm here with Dominik and Rey Mysterio, stars of Friday Night Smackdown. I'm like super honored to be here. My whole entire life, I've been watching Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero Jr., and all these different Latinx stars shine bright about that brown brilliance, you know. And now we get to see Dominik Mysterio be here and be amazing in his own right and shine, you know, super bright and everything like that. And you guys are preparing for SummerSlam against the Usos, and I'm like super hyped to check out that match and everything like that. And I like gotta ask my first question, starting off, is that like me checking out your guys' like lives, just even the thought of it fills me with anxiety with like the fans, the traveling, the performances, all that kind of stuff and everything. What do you guys do to like protect your sort of mental health and like that self-care to make sure that your mind is right? Because obviously the gym can help out your body and dieting and all that kind of stuff, but what do you do to protect like your soul and your mind to make sure it's right for matches and everything?
Personally, for me, you know, I've been around wrestling at a very young age, you know, since the age of 4, and I pretty much grew up around this world. So to me, it all comes very natural. It's all very common.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the best way for me to prepare myself, even though, like you said, you know, the mind, when you work out and you get your sweat on, you know, that takes care of a certain part of your brain.
Yeah.
For me, it really relieves a lot of the anxiety, the stress.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
top of that, prayer, you know, prayer every time.
Yeah.
In the morning before I go to bed and before every match, you know, we get down on our knees and we pray to God, you know, that gives us the strength.
That's good. That spiritual aspect. Yeah. And Dominik?
For me, you know, I didn't start training as young as he did, but
Yeah.
I could definitely say that I was born into this business, you know, because I fresh out the womb, you know, I had an outfit made, you know, mask, everything.
Yeah.
So it's still in the closet, little baby outfit, you know. So for me, it's a different situation and a different vibe, you know. Like my dad said, coming into the gym definitely is a stress reliever, but being on the road and, you know, being on that mental health, definitely communication with family and loved ones is key. You know, I'm always, you know, talking to pops, you know, on the phone with mom, my girlfriend back home. So, and then, you know, like he said as well, we're always in prayer, whether it's before, after the match, even when we're out there, you know, he gets up in the corner, you know, we do the sign of the cross. So we're always, you know, always in God's hands.
Yeah, and that's really cool. That's really important, you know, because no matter how big you get as a star, you still have that humility to be able to, you know, pray to God and be able to give you, you know, that prayer and everything. So that's super good, and that's amazing. Yeah. And so another question is, do you have any like pre-match sort of rituals that you do to kind of like prepare? Like obviously, like, you know, the mental health thing we talked about in the prayer and everything like that, but do you like play any video games, watch any TV, or listen to any like certain music to get yourself like hyped up or take your mind off things, that way you can, you know, go in sort of like ready to go? Yeah.
So for me, no one really knows it, but for people who've seen the show Entourage, there's a character in there by the name of Johnny Drama.
Yeah.
So I got super into the show, and beforehand I never really had any like crazy rituals, or I do like listening to music to kind of get me hyped up. But I saw that Johnny Drama did this one thing where he kind of turns around and he kind of gives kind of just gets in his head. So I've kind of just been pumping myself
like adopted that. Yeah.
Just get
that's
in there,
super cool. Yeah.
Get Viking Quest mode. But yeah.
For me, my ritual has always been, you know, literally right before I step out on stage, you know, is a prayer, and that you know, it gives me the mental stability and strength,
that
to go
faith,
out there and connect with the fans.
Dang, that's super good. I love that. And then so I know when it comes to like WWE matches, it's always like them versus me sort of thing. But I kind of want to turn around a little bit. What is it that you respect the most about the Usos, and how do you feel like what are you going to do to overcome that? You know, because obviously they're competent, they're capable, and you guys are competent and capable, and you guys both work good at tag team. So what is it that you respect most, and then how are you going to overcome them?
You know, for me, I've known the Usos for a very long time. You know, before they even stepped into a WWE ring, and I was already on the grind. You know, to see their growth in the amount of time that they've spent in this business has been amazing. You know, nothing but respect. The fact that they come from a wrestling family background. You know,
Yeah.
their father, Rikishi. You know,
Mhm.
their uncle Umaga. You know, and so on and so on. There's such a rich history in the Samoan dynasty, you know, and I think what we have to do is have the right connection, my son and I, and be able to communicate
Yeah.
and not make any mistakes come Saturday. You know, definitely would love to become two-time father and son tag team champion. And on
Yeah.
top of that, you know, it's a very special night as well. It'll be my son's 1-year anniversary of being in the ring. So,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
he debuted last year against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, his first match during the pandemic, you know, and to spend 1 year of grinding without fans and all of a sudden back to fans and to be in one of the biggest stadiums right now and probably the biggest crowd capacity for my son
Yeah.
is just going to be a blessing and an extra push of motivation to regain those titles.
Yeah. It's good. Perfect. And what about you, Dominic? What is it that you respect most about the Usos, and what is, you know, your own strategy to overcome them and everything?
You know, like my dad said, you know, the Usos come from a huge background of, you know, lineage and family wrestling.
Yeah.
So that I've been watching them go at it for years, you know, and they're brothers, and you know it can't get any closer than family, and you know,
Yeah.
father son, two brothers, and you know, at the end of the day, I think I respect the hell out of the Usos, you know, for everything that they've done and everything that they're going to do. But at the end of the day, I have one of the best to ever do it in my corner. So I think if I just keep my ears open, I think we'll be in good hands.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And then speaking on your like 1 year anniversary and everything, it's like a lot of trials and tribulations of being thrown, you know, into everything like this, because like the WWE has been a part of your life all across the thing. Because like even like when I was younger, I was watching like all those different events and storylines with you like involved in it and seeing you like appear and everything. So it's also wild to see you here now in your own right as like your own WWE superstar and everything. So in this year of being like you know, in the ring in front of the cameras and everything like that, what would you say is your peak and your pit of like this year, like the thing you like really loved, even if it was a small moment for you and didn't really like matter to everyone else, or if it was like a big shining moment that was like really stands out for you?
Honestly, my whole career has been, you know, since I literally started with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Like I don't know how I could top like that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like, I shouldn't have been doing the things that I'm doing. I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate to have given these opportunities. But man, one that really stands out to me, and I get goosebumps every time, you know, just because I was a huge fan, you know, growing
Yeah.
up with Edge and my dad, you know, as
Yeah.
tag teams. So being out there on my first show with a live crowd in a
Yeah.
6-man with my dad and with Edge, just being able to capture those moments and him being in my ear telling me to breathe it all in, soak it in, and then all three of us standing out there while his pyro goes off, man, that I wouldn't change that for the world.
I can imagine, because you're no longer a bystander. You're actually like a peer, shoulder to shoulder with them, you know, equals. So that's amazing. Yeah. And what would you say is one of your pits, something that you were like, you know, you didn't expect it to be a hardship, but you're like, wow, this was actually, you know, whether it's the traveling, the gym, anything like that, that you feel is one of those harder moments. Yeah.
I would say everything, you know, because
Yeah.
all the work is you're constantly putting in the work, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's in the gym, whether it's in the ring, outside of being, you know, at work, or just everything, you know. But I think the hardest part is just being in that moment and, you know, pleasing the fans and being able to
Yeah.
to know that they went home happy, you know, with what you gave them out there. I think
Yeah.
that's the hardest part to go down with, because I'll watch every single one of my matches and be like, wow, that was absolutely terrible. I could have done so much better. But like,
Always a critic. Yeah.
You know, I'm just a critic of myself in the worst way possible. But I think that would be the hardest thing for me.
Right on. And then going over to Ray, you've had a lifetime of experiences and everything like that. So what would be your peak and pit for you in your career over everything you've done?
I've had a lot of incredible, memorable moments throughout my career, you know, and it always seems like it gets better and better every time with time. You know, I never went backwards. I was always moving forward. You know, from Mexico to the U.S., from ECW to WCW, WCW, WWE. You know, and it always kept on getting better and better. That is to prove that you put in the work, you dedicate your life to something, and you have dreams, and they become a reality. You make them happen. So, you know, overall, out of my 30 plus years of being in this sport, I became world champion, you know, for the first time. You know, at WrestleMania was a moment that never forgot, you know, not only for me, for the fans that follow wrestling, for the Mysterio fans around the world. You know, that was a very special moment, and we all celebrated it together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what would you say one of your pits was during your whole 30 years of career, where there was a small moment for you, or if it was like, you know, like the traveling, the any of the aspects of that comes with being a WWE wrestler or anything like that? Yeah.
Traveling always wears on you. You know, you come to a point where it's exhausting, but you enjoy this sport way too much to push it aside for traveling, you know. But I think the worst moments that I've had throughout my career is, you know, every time I had to go in for surgery on my left knee, you know, that always slowed down a year or two on my career. And despite all those surgeries, you know, I still feel great and love doing what I do. You know, despite the 9+ surgeries that I've had on my left knee, you know, I enjoy it, and there's nothing that I would change otherwise.
Yeah, especially as it's like, and it's wild that you say that, because I look at your previous matches and then I look at current matches, and you're still nimble, you're still quick, you're still powerful, and everything looks so smooth and good. So you're like, that talent is there, and it's so undeniable. So it's really, really cool. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then so what you probably get asked this question a lot, but now we talked about mental and spiritual and everything like that, but what about physical? Like, how many, like what is your physical routine in the gym to maintain that muscle mass and that strength to be able to perform and do all these high flying moves sort of thing? Like, what is that sort of regimen for you guys?
So for me, it's changed over the years. You know, I used to try to lift as heavy as I could, you know, to just gain some size.
Yeah.
Now it's I've just been very consistent on eating plenty, so that way I don't lose the size that I have.
Yeah.
And stay as lean as possible, which is very hard after a certain age. You know, and stay on the workout. You know, that's actually a big focus in all of our careers, because we have to try to look the best we can. And Dominik is learning about that right now as we speak. So he's going through that phase right now.
That's amazing. And Dominik, what about your regimen currently?
Yeah, no, most definitely. You know, like he said, we spend a lot of our times at the gym. You know, currently I have a personal trainer, so whenever I'm home, I go work out, whether I'm home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm always there at the gym. Or whenever I'm home, I go and do that right away in the morning, so I can get it done and out of the way. So the rest of the day to kind of just chill. But you know, I've had my ups and downs with my health and with my fitness, and I think right now I'm starting to reach a level where I'm starting to finally understand where it needs to be and how everything needs to be done. So we're currently on that journey.
That's amazing. So good. And so a lot of people like watch you guys in awe, and you inspire a lot of people to get into health and get into fitness because they see how amazing you guys are. For anyone just entering sort of fitness, what is one either workout or piece of advice that you would want to give them that would help them in their own health and fitness sort of journey?
I would say, take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And definitely try to make it a priority, and enjoy it. It doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be something that you don't like doing, find that connection where you're not doing it to look good, but you're doing it to
make yourself feel.
To make yourself feel good and to stay healthy, to live longer. That's the founding youth, staying on a workout, whether you walk 15 or 20 minutes, and every day or every week you bump it up a minute or 2 minutes, until you get to that certain goal. Write yourself your goal and make sure that by a month or whenever you want to achieve that goal, you make it there, and it costs you work and you enjoy it.
That's amazing. And Dominik?
For me, I'm very, very bad at eating vegetables, but I know it's important, and a lot of people say that, 75% on how you feel is what you eat. Yeah. So, I tend to not eat as good, but I've been doing my best to, stay on point with having my meals on time. Like I said, I'm not good with my vegetables, but I have a greens shake that I try to get in and try to pound in the morning as well, so I can have all my greens necessary for the day, And I do a pretty decent job. I'll have, my tomatoes, my lettuce, my spinach, but it's the broccolis and the cabbage that I have, problems putting down.
If he doesn't eat his greens, how can we become 2-time tag team champions?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. You didn't eat enough vegetables. That's what. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that's so good. And thankfully you have youth on your side, so that helps out for like at least right now. So that's like that's good. I want to thank you guys so much for everything, and I wish you the best of luck on your matches. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you guys do. Because again, for everyone in the Latinx community, you guys are our heroes, and we look up to you. And what you do matters, and you're amazing. Thank you again so much for everything.
Thank you very much. And I want to make sure that all the fans in Phoenix, come out and check us out, man. We're gonna do our last Friday night SmackDown before we enter SummerSlam this Saturday. We will be live with SmackDown this upcoming Friday, August 20th in Phoenix, Arizona. So come check it out.
Drag off the top rope. Usos saving his brother.